easily see, like, now when I re-listen to the story, I picture Ian McKellan very easily. Just like that performance transcends the scenes he's in.
Such a shame, dude. It just really feels like they dropped the ball. I don't want to know why. I don't know. But I gotta say, that dude, even though the air embolism or whatever he gives himself is only in the movie, that thought has never even crossed my mind that somebody could do that to themselves. Oh. And seeing it, I was just like, oh my God. Like, I was like, dude, yeah, it was friggin' crazy. Also, just want to give a quick shout out to Ann Dowd. Looking good, Ann Dowd.
Incredible.
I was like, damn, that's Ann Dowd? Like, all right.
Dude, I was also thinking that. Beautiful.
Yeah. I also liked the dad is the politician in X-Men.
Yep. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh my God, they're probably
that's a Bryan Singer movie, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he's like, I'm going to bring over Ian McKellen and the dad.
Yeah. It's like, listen, you were a senator in the last one. We turned you into the Blob. I'm going to give you a little bit juicier. We're going to have your hair flowing. You're going to look great.
Yeah. You're Magneto. A Holocaust survivor. It's like, what?
Well, honestly, I really like the story. I mean, it's fucked up, but it's an interesting story. Did not like this film though that much. I think it might be kind of towards the bottom for my Stephen King adaptations.
Yeah.
You know, it pains me to say that because I love Ian McKellen so much.
I'd have to agree, but I'm glad I watched it.
Yeah, me too.
I liked it to some extent.
Yeah.
Overall, I wish the flow was better. Like, there were certain scenes, especially if you come from the novella, you're like, I want to see those scenes happen. And they do fan service that up. So you're like, oh, you remember the scenes that were in the book. But on the whole, like, having to watch it, I ask you guys every time, I'm like, did it flow good for you guys? And usually you're like, yeah, we can put the story together. This is the first time that, like, I think that they didn't do enough to keep the continuity going.
Mm-hmm. I think you're 100% right, Dom. Yeah, you do always ask us that. You're like, did that make sense? And it never hasn't. And this is the first time where I'm like, I didn't really know what the fuck, why people were doing what they did. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, whatever. Hey, it's Halloween. Who cares?
It's
whatever.
Halloween. Yeah. Well, Dom, at the start of the podcast, you said, when you get a good audiobook, and I forget what you said. You said something along the lines where you just, like, forget what you're doing.
Yeah, time just flies.
I thought you were going to say, like, when you listen to a good audiobook and you just, like, run a red light. Like...
You just mow down some trick-or-treaters and you're like, oh.
Oh my God.
I thought you were going to say something like that. I was like, I know he listens to these when he drives.
You pop the curve and you just take out a bunch of Frankensteins and you're like, whoops.
Run a red light. That's hilarious. Well, Dom, thank you very much for joining us for our last day of the 13 Days of Halloween, dude.
Oh, it's an honor.
Eric, we did it, brah.
I know, another year. I mean, I don't want to dwindle anymore. I know last year we did 31, this year 13. 6 is a spooky number. We could do 6 next year. No, we're sticking with 13, people. We're going to be back next year 100%.
Oh, yeah. I think 13's a sweet spot,
Doable. Last year, I took years off my life.
Yeah. But yeah, everybody, seriously, thank you so much for listening for the past 13 days. We will be back next Monday with another episode, which we don't know what it is yet, but we will let you know. And we just also want to thank iHeartRadio, for joining with us. Just thank you for helping us out and for matching us up with all those awesome sponsors. So thank you very much. And Eric, thank you for going on this journey with me.
Thank you, Alec. Thank you to our guest, and also thank you to our other co-host, Justin Willickson. Been a fun one. Been a much more enjoyable year this year than previous years when we're up at 3 a.m. watching Rosemary's Baby. So,
yeah,
this is a way better year for doing this, and I really enjoyed it. This is the best year yet, in my mind.
Yeah, and a special shout out to Justin too. Yeah, I was definitely gonna not forget him. So
okay, I'm sorry. I thought you did, so that's why I had to say something.
No, oh my God, no. Well, all right. Thank you again, everybody, and we will see you all next week with something.
We'll find out. See you next week. Woo! Happy Halloween.